Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is the Mayim in Atlanta. We're going to start out right here at 2nd Esdras 16 and verse 21. And it says, Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth. Victuals being food or provisions, groceries. It says that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth. Sword, famine, and great confusion. And currently we do have lower prices, at least to where you can get a meal. But they are rising. We're watching them rise. But we are also watching these evils within this earth rise. We're watching more deaths. We're watching wars being started up, the beginnings of it. We're watching famine coming because you're seeing the inflation increase the prices of the victuals or the groceries. And great confusion because we are in the place of confusion. Babylon, America. It says, For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So people in the coming days, very soon, people are going to be dying from famine, from not eating, from malnourishment. And there's going to be all sorts of wars, from civil wars to race wars to economic wars. There's a gender war, and then the big world war, and then the ultimate war in heaven that's coming. Things are not looking bright. The future does not look bright for this place. But I went into that because of this article on Natural News. I'm sure you've been hearing about this for a little bit now, but there's the bird flu, and it's affecting eggs, and a lot of chickens have been killed off, which could have been giving eggs. But getting into the article, it says egg rationing madness, how bird flu fears are fueling food scarcity and inflation. And inflation is really just the value of the dollar or the value of the money going down when prices still actually stay high, and they're just going to go higher because the value of this dollar is falling, and the supply of things like eggs are dwindling, but the demand for it is still there. There's still a high demand for eggs and other victuals and groceries. This is major grocery chains like Costco and Whole Foods are rationing eggs. And my rib went to Costco this past week, and she said there were no eggs, citing bird flu related shortages, sparking shopper outrage. Critics argue the mass culling of 148 million chickens is creating artificial scarcity to drive inflation. And this isn't just going to drive egg prices up, it's going to drive the price of beef, the price of pork. Not that we're to eat pork, but it's going to be driving up the price of other goods because people can't get eggs. And maybe it'll actually be chicken soon. And then I also see that it's affecting beef. But we'll get into that later. But moving on, it says the USDA's policy of euthanizing infected flocks has drastically reduced egg production despite low human transmission risk of H5N1 bird flu. Egg prices surged 53% in January. So say a dozen were $1 in the past, it's now $1.53. It says with retailers imposing strict purchase limits and Waffle House adding a 50-cent surcharge per egg. Man. Some experts claim the crisis is exaggerated, possibly to push mRNA jabs in centralized food systems, because you can't trust anything that happens within Babylon the Great, within America, as we saw in 2nd Esdras 16, where it was talking about and great confusion, because this is the land of confusion, and that's what the powers that be push out, is confusion. Everything is the opposite of how the Lord would like it. But checking out another article, this is from Healthline, came out February 7th of this year. It says a new type of bird, FLU, detected in U.S. dairy cows. Is it safe to consume milk or beef? And so, as I was talking about, this is spreading. This is growing. And so, it's going to make the prices increase, and it's going to drop the supply. It says a new strain of bird flu has been discovered in the milk of some dairy cow herds in the U.S. Experts say the nation's food supply remains safe due to the rigorous inspection procedures for cattle herds and the pasteurization of most milk products. However, some experts remain concerned about the potential spread of bird FLU to humans. And so they're pushing this. This is what you're seeing in the headlines about this sickness within the birds and now in the beef. And so expect prices to go up, and they will go up. But at the same time, lean on the Lord, because as he says, his servants shall eat. But we are coming into a time of famine and of very high prices. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 6. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny. And this isn't just because that sounds cheap to get something for a penny, but a penny, let's just go to it. It goes into a day's wage. And this is Strong's G 1220 denarion. And it says a denarius is containing 10, but here's what it is: a Roman silver coin in New Testament times. It took its name from it being equal to 10 asses, a number after 217 BC increased to 16, about 3.898 grams or 0.1375 ounces, which the Roman Empire also experienced significant inflation because they were cutting the denarius, the denarion. They were mixing it with other metals besides just silver. But it says it was the principal silver coin of the Roman Empire. From the parable of the laborers in the vineyard, it would seem that a denarius was then the ordinary pay for a day's wage. So, going back to Revelation 6 and 6, a measure of wheat for a penny, a measure of wheat for a whole day's labor. Just for one person, not for everyone, too. And 3 measures of barley for a penny, for a whole day's wages. And see, thou hurt not the oil and the wine, the truth. Don't hurt what's going on. Again, his servants shall eat. But we are coming into a time where prices are going to be basically outrageous. It's going to be a lot. Not everybody's going to be able to eat. And so we are going to see famine come. That is prophesied. There will be famine. And it doesn't mean that everyone is not going to be able to eat, but you can imagine your lessers, the people that have less money, particularly Jake, is going to suffer for this. And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see, thou hurt not the oil and the wine. And so we rely completely on Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, but it would be wise to try and have a little bit set aside for the times that we are coming into. Maybe some rice, maybe some beans, maybe some extra water, or some type of really good water filter. You could even just get some iodine tablets to put into your water. Those are relatively inexpensive to get. And start taking a little bit of food and setting it aside for what's coming. But don't rely on that, because anything could happen to that food supply and the hoard that you've been able to gain. Anything could happen. It could get some type of mold in it and it all just go bad, or your house gets flooded, or you have to leave without your supplies. Don't rely on that, but it is wise to have that. And if you have extra in those days that are coming, it could also be something to trade. Think about things that intrinsically have value nowadays, or just throughout time. So, like jewelry, precious metals, ammo, um, and extra food. Things that people will actually be needing, because paper dollars won't be needed in those days, considering it's all about to crash. And you see it in these movies. There'll be people burning dollars. But yeah, Lord willing, that was edifying. Harsh days are coming. The evils are increasing. Get closer to the Lord and repent, because Yahweh Shai is coming back very soon. So I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.